Welcome to our tutorial on variables and operators in Arduino programming. Today, we'll be looking at the meaning of variables and operators and also demonstrate how they are used in programming. Understanding the concept of variables coupled with operator is essential for creating dynamic and interactive programs. First, let's talk about variables. Variables are used to store data that can be used and manipulated throughout your program. In ArduBlock, you must declare a variable before using it by specifying its types and name. To do this, just go to variable, then click on create variable. Here you can give any name of your choice to your variable, but it makes more sense to give a variable a name that is related to its function. For example, let's say we are creating a variable that is meant to keep values coming from an ultrasonic sensor. Then it will make sense to call such variable distance or range. But for this demonstration, let's just call this variable value A. Now that the variable has been created, the next thing to do is to assign value to this variable, which can be done by using the set variable block. Let's drag this out. Now we have the set variable block on the workspace, which can be used to set a value to any created variable. The next thing is to go to math and click the number block. Alright, so right now the value is now 0, which can be changed. Let's change this to 5. So right now we now have value A being set to number 5, but this value is a number and not a character, so we have to come here and change our data types to integer. Integer means number. Now let us go ahead by creating another variable. Come to variable, then click create variable. Let's call this value B. Then let us drag it out and also give it a value. We are going to give it a value of 10. So you can come to math again and click on the number block and change this to 10. Then we change the character data type to integer because we are dealing with numbers and not characters. Right now I can say we have created two variables. One is value A and the other one is value B, but right here we still have value A, whereas it's supposed to be value B. So let's just click on it and pick value B. Alright, now in order to demonstrate how variables can be manipulated in a program, we have to use the serial monitor so we can monitor the results of the outcome of our program. Alright, let's go to structure and we'll pick the setup and loop block. We're only going to work on that setup because we just want our code or program to be executed once. So we go to serial com and pick the port monitor configuration block. Alright, the next thing to do is to print serial com, then go to port monitor print. So we like to print the value of A, the value inside variable value A. We want to print it to the serial monitor. Alright, so we go to variable, then click and pick on value A. So right now value of 5 should be printed to the serial monitor because value A has already been declared and given number 5. Alright, so in order to demonstrate how variables can be manipulated, let's say after printing value A, we go again and set a new value, like we are updating the data inside variable value A. So let's go to variable and then we pick the put the variable block. Right now the put the variable block will let us update any value inside the particular variable. Alright, so right now let's get back to the number block under math and then let's change this one to 20. Okay, so let's duplicate this. Alright, right now we have port monitor to print value A, which is initially set to 5. With this block we are going to see 5 on the serial monitor. After that, we are actually updating the data inside the value A. We are changing the value to 20 instead of 5. Now this 20 will replace the 5 here and the new value will now be 20. So the data inside value a has become 20, and right here when we are trying to print value a again, we are going to see 20 instead of 5. So let me upload the code and see the results. Alright, the code has been uploaded, and we can come here to open the serial monitor and then click on play. Alright, so right now we have 5 and we have 20. Fine. So let's close this. So with this, you've been able to understand that we can initialize a variable by giving it a value using the set variable block, and anytime during your code or program you can always update this value by using the put the variable block. So right now let's continue to operators, because operators and variables actually works hand in hand. Alright, operators are symbols that are used to perform operations on variables and value. Alright, and this can be categorized majorly into 3 types. We have the arithmetic operators, comparison operators, and the Boolean or logic operators. Alright, you should be familiar with arithmetic operators. They are your addition symbols, subtraction, multiplication, division, and other signs, which means you can do mathematical calculations with your program in Arduino. So we also have the comparison operator that can be used to compare 2 values with each other. Starting with arithmetic operators, let's say we have value a to be 5, which have been done already, and value b to be 10. Alright, so for us to do this, we are going to create another variable and call it value c. So come to variable, create variable, and let's call this value c. Alright, our task now is to create a program that will let us add value a and value b together and then store it inside value c. Alright, then value c will now be printed to the serial monitor so that we can see the results for ourselves. So let's remove this, then we are going to remove this. Okay, we can delete that and remove this. We are still going to use the pulse monitor block, the block responsible for printing to the serial monitor. It's necessary. Alright, so the next thing is come to variable, then let's set our variable, which is okay, we can join it together, that doesn't matter. So this is variable c. I would like it to be under. So variable c, let's set it to 0. It doesn't matter, actually we are still going to update the value later on. So come to math, set that to 0, then we come here and pick variable again, then put. The put block is used in updating. This block is used in updating the value inside the variable. Alright, so we are going to put, but instead of value it will be value c. Right, then value c will be holding the value that will be returned when we had value a and value b. So we go to math, that's basically addition. We go to math, then pick this block. Now inside this portion, inside this slot, we are going to put value a, and inside this we are going to put value b. So all you have to do is just to come back to variable and pick this block value a. As we all know, value a is already holding number 5, and then come back to variable again and pick b, and value b is holding 10. So right now value a plus value b should be 15, and 15 will be stored inside value c. So it's like we are updating value c to number 15. It's initially holding 0, but with this block value c will now be holding addition of value a and value b, which is 15. So let's just print it to see the results and confirm that our code works as expected. So come back to variable and pick c. Alright, so let's upload that and check the results. Alright, now uploaded. Open the serial monitor and click on play. Okay, I think we have an issue. That's not the correct output we are expecting, and that's because we did not change our data type to integer. Remember, I said we are dealing with number and not character. So change this to integer and let's re-upload. Okay, come back to serial monitor and let's click on play. Yeah, we now have the correct answer, which is 15. All right, so right now you can basically manipulate the results. You can change the operators, subtraction and the likes, multiplication, division and many more. So but the beauty of decision making actually lies in the comparison operators, which we are going to look into right now. All right, so comparison operators is the backbone to decision making in Arduino programming. They can let you decide what should happen and what not to happen. All right, for example, the street lights we've always been using as an example, it actually comes on at night when there is darkness. So that's a condition that needs to be tested, and that's like you are saying if there is darkness, then the light should come on. You're actually checking if darkness is present or not. Same thing goes to the automatic doors in supermarkets, whereas when someone's approached, then the door should open. So you are checking if a certain condition is met before something can happen. Let's me quickly demonstrate this for you. All right, so let's dispose this and we remove this as well. Okay, so we still have our value c variable, but we might not be using it, but let it remain. That doesn't matter. Then what we are trying to do now is if one value is greater than other, then we should have true printed to the serial monitor. All right, so let's do that quickly. It's a very simple thing. You are still going to come to serial.com and pick the configuration block it's needed. Then we go to logic. All right, and we pick the if then block. Okay, so that's that. Then we go for if value b, right, is greater than value a, which is actually greater, 10 is greater than 5, then something should happen. All right, so let's go to logic rather, and then we pick this. Okay, so now we go for if value b. So right here you are going to put value b, go for variable value b, put it inside. Then we are looking for greater than. So if value b is greater than value a, let's say value a, variable value a, then what should happen? So this then can actually be anything you are willing to do if this condition is true, which will be true because value b is definitely greater than value a. All right, so right now you can say we should print a certain word to the serial monitor. Okay, so go to serial.com and pick this. All right, so go to text, you can change that to this is true. So this is true will be printed because the if condition is true. All right, assuming this condition is not true, all right, if value b is not greater than value a, then you will not see anything on the serial monitor because this condition will not be executed. This greater than sign is actually a comparison operator that is used in comparing value b and value a. Do you get it now? All right, let's try and upload this and see the results. Okay, so we can go to serial monitor, then click on play. All right, we have this is true on the serial monitor. This is just because value b is truly greater than value a. All right, let's change this to equal. Now value b is not equal to value a, then you are going to see nothing because this condition is not true and this will not be executed. All right, so let me just upload that so you can see. All right, for the serial monitor, then click on play. So nothing is coming because the condition is not met. That condition is not true, so this will not be executed. Right now we've learned about variables and how they can be manipulated using operators. All right, so these are very necessary when you are building project that requires your design to make decision by itself. You have to check for something. If that condition is true, then something should happen, and if not, something else should happen. So right now, this is where we are going to stop for today, and we'll continue to dive deeper into coding and robotics in the upcoming videos. Until then, keep practicing and stay great. Thank you.